Okay, let's pick up where we left off. Now mine printed weird again, and yours did not, I hope. So I'm going to copy my equation down. There we go. Okay, so on number 7, okay, on number 7, we already have it in the right form, don't we? Y equals mx plus b. What is the slope? 1/4. And our y-intercept, that -3. Now, our GPS, our slope is telling us we're going to end up going up 1 and to the right 4 after we plot our starter point on the y-axis. That's our y-intercept. So go to where y is equal to -3. And from there, according to our slope, up 1 to the right 4, up 1 to the right 4. Do a couple of them at least, and then use your straight edge to draw it in really pretty. Sorry about mine. Freehand doesn't work. All right, let's look at number 8. On number 8, we have to get it in the form ourselves. It doesn't matter which side you get the y on, but if you see it's already over here, oh, here. I'm going to go ahead and do it further to the right so we have a little more room. I want to get the y all by himself here, so I'm going to move the 3x over to the other side. So I end up with a -y equals -3x minus 6. Now, why do I put the -3x first? Because I want it in that form, y equals mx plus b. Now, this is not y. It's -y, so I'm going to divide every piece by -1 so that I get y equals, that's going to turn into a 3x plus 6. Okay, now we're ready. The slope that we're going to use is 3/1. The y-intercept we're going to use is 6. According to our slope, we're going to be moving up 3 and to the right 1, and we're going to start at 6 on the y-axis. So go to 6 on the y-axis. From there, I'm going to go up 3 and over 1, and we'll draw that in. Oops, sorry, mine's not very straight. You'll use a straight edge and it'll look perfect. Let's look at number 9. Okay, both of these need to be rewritten, don't they? Or we could use a different method. I like this one, and it's actually what's to your advantage when you move into your co-rec class, so I'm going to keep using this form. Now, I'm going to solve for my y right up here. I'm going to rewrite it the way I rewrote the other one. If I don't like the order he's in, since they are equal, I can say 3y minus 6 is equal to x. Now let's get the y by itself. I'm going to move the 6 over to the other side. So now I have 3y equals x plus 6. To get the y all by itself, I'm going to divide him by 3, but I'm going to do it to every single term so that I end up with y equals, and again, that's actually got a 1 in front of it. So you see how I turn it into 1/3 x plus 2. Now we're ready. We'll identify our slope. It's the 1/3, and our y-intercept, 2. The y-intercept is where we start on the y-axis, so go ahead and plot that. And our slope is our GPS. It's telling us from the starter point, you're going to go up 1 and over 3. Let's do it. Up 1 over 3. Up 1 over 3. And draw it with a ruler and put an arrow on each end. Let's look at number 10. I'm going to scoot this over so we have a little bit more room. I'm going to get the y all by itself, so I'm going to move the 4x over to the other side. It's going to become a -4x. So now that's an arrow. Okay, I'm going to rewrite it. That is 2y equals -4x plus 8. To get the y isolated and all by itself, I'm going to divide every single piece by 2. Y will be equal to -2x plus 4. That means our slope is negative 2 over 1, and our y-intercept is 4. That's our starter point on the y-axis. Draw it in right away. And our slope is telling us, our GPS is saying you're going to go down 1 and to the right 1 every single time. Down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. Let's draw it in. And arrows on each end. And again, hopefully you're using a ruler so it looks a lot prettier than mine. Another neat thing to remember is, don't forget that if you have both X's and Y's, you're going to end up, here's one I'm going to have to draw myself, isn't it? I am so sorry about that. But you know what? We got this. Let's look at number 11. And I'll just do the work right here and we'll draw it down here. Not a big deal, is it? All right. I'm going to start by identifying the fact that it's got an X and a Y, so it's going to have an upward or downward tilt. All right. Now, it's also in the right form, isn't it? My slope is negative 2/5, and my y-intercept is 3. And you've got a beautiful graph to graph yours on. I'm going to do a really good job drawing a graph so I can graph it with you. I'm going to use, let's see, probably 6 or 7 units in every direction. You will always be provided with little graphs, so you won't ever have to draw them by hand like me. Okay? All right. Our starter point on the y-axis, remember this is y, this is x. Here's where y is equal to 3. And from there, I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 5. And draw it in. And you can do it a couple of times if you want to. I didn't draw enough graphs, so I went ahead and drew mine in. Now, this next one is kind of cool. It only has an X in it, doesn't it? But it's got 2 numbers. Well, I can take care of that pretty quick. Move the 3 over to the other side, and now you have X equals negative 1. When you have only an X or only a Y, it's going to be our special lines. See, they're going to go up and down, or it's going to go left and right. Let's see. I'm going to give myself like 2 little marks in every direction. You graph yours on your little graph that you're provided on your worksheet. I'm going to go to where X is equal to negative 1. This is the X-axis. This is the Y-axis. Here is where X is negative 1. And see the little tick he's sitting on? He's already going up and down. So if you forget that the X line is the vertical line, the tick will remind you. Let's finish up the last 2 examples. All right. For this number 13 and 14, we're going to have to solve them for y. So I'm going to scoot up a little bit and do it right up here. I have x minus 3y equals negative 3. I'm going to start by moving the x over to the other side. That's going to leave me with negative 3y equals a negative x minus 3. To solve for y, I'm going to divide every single piece by negative 3. Remember, do them individually so that you don't have to clean up a complex fraction. You get 3 little tiny fractions that are easy to reduce. Once I get it in the right form, I can say, well, okay, my slope is 1/3 and my y-intercept is 1. The slope is telling us we're going to be moving up 1 and to the right 3, but not until I plot my y-intercept on the y-axis. Let's do it. Here's where y is equal to 1 on the y-axis. From there, I'm going to go up 1 and over 3. I'm going to go up 1 and over 3. And draw it in. Make sure you put your little arrows on the ends. And one more, guys. We're almost finished and we can start studying for our final. All right, I'm going to get the y all by itself. That's going to be pretty easy on this one. I'm going to move the 5x over to the other side. So I'm going to end up with y equals 5x minus 4. That means my slope is 5, but it is always to our advantage to write it as a fraction. And our y-intercept is negative 4. So this is our starting point at negative 4 on the y-axis. And according to our GPS, according to our slope, we're going to be moving up 5 into the right 1. This one is nice because it does illustrate one really important thing. Let's count this one off together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we count that point? Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. Now going back to this point, why do we count it? Because there's actually a little tick in both directions there. Okay, and again, please use a ruler. All right, we're finished, you guys. Good luck on your final.